The best show in Africa has officially started. If you're out there, we're going to start with hot topics. And guess what? I have the hot gang in the building. If you're seeing me for the first time, this is Brian Aseli. You can follow me at Brian_Aseli on Instagram and Twitter. And of course, you can find us at KTN News. It's as simple as that. But then right now, we just want to make sure that you get to know what our panel is. Karibuni sana.
Asante. My name is MC Ivy. Happy to be here again. Yet another Friday.
I hope Penguin can get that example of just introducing himself.
You
know, mine's special. I am the Penguin, the one and only. Now, when I say you get me, you say yeah. You get me? Yeah. Feels good to be back.
Out of this building. How are you, lady and gentlemen?
I am good. Personally, I am good. Ivy, how you doing?
I'm fantastic.
I can see you right there.
Good to see you. It's been a while.
You're looking cutesy. I like the look. You're looking pang. Aseli, how are you doing?
Why you ask? I'm not looking pang.
No. I need to know how you're doing because your hair is not growing, bro. You and Bahati, like.
I have a new name in the streets. Pop Daddy.
Hey, Pop Daddy.
Pop Daddy.
Must be nice. It must be nice.
Yeah. Do you know why they call me like that?
Why?
Yes. Because I'm the only person who cuts my own hair.
Oh Lord.
Cool story. Do you know? Okay. Okay, we're gonna get to that.
We're gonna start this on a different tone or notes. Today I'm going to be looking at the pulse. So if you're out there and you love the pulse, you're going to be looking at some of the stories. And King Kaka is going to be joining us later on. There's just a technical hitch that we're trying to sort, and he's going to be joining us via Zoom. But right now, kuna hii story. Let's start with first things first. I love movies, and movies are a major thing to me. We're going to be talking about Birds of Prey. Have you watched it? What are you guys watching?
Personally, as a big fan of the comics, I have. How can I miss to watch The Birds of Prey by the one and only Harley Quinn?
The story of Harley Quinn.
The story of Harley Quinn, yeah.
It was a good movie, yes, but I feel like the storyline was just washed down. It was a weak storyline. However, if you're a fan, you're a fan. It doesn't matter whether it's strong or weak, you're dying for it.
But personally, for me, I feel like, okay, I'm a big fan of both comic sides, the big comic industries, that's Marvel and DC.
Yeah.
But I fall on the side of Marvel, because when you see the way Marvel has grown and the consistency they have with the movies, it's a bit more entertaining than DC Comics. Although DC Comics
DC doesn't stick to the storyline, do they?
They don't.
Look, one thing I hate about DC, let me tell you, one thing I hate about the DC Comics is they keep repeating movies over and over again. Can you imagine there's another Batman coming? Another one. They're actually auditioning. I should be the next one.
I think they should just
come. Batman.
What I think is that they should come to Africa and do traditional stories.
No.
They did our Wakanda thingy, but they need to do like Luanda Magere, you know.
Oh yeah.
A comic strip for that. Are you agreeing with that?
I am not, because we already know what they will do. They will find some American dudes who look African and some American chicks who look African, and have them tell the story. If you're going to tell our story, at least let us do it ourselves.
But at least according to the Pulsar, they give it a 6 out of 10. I don't know, out of 10.
6 isn't, I'd give it a 7. A 7 is good.
I'd give it a 4.
And speaking of Wakanda and Africa...
Wait, you guys are speaking fast.
Yes, okay.
Penguin.
Why a 6? A 6. No, I said a 7.
Oh, 7. Why a 7?
6 is a 7. 6 is for the Pulse. 7 is for me. Why a 7?
Oh, Lord.
Because... why a 7?
This, man?
It's because I miss manze. Manze. Anyway, Harley Quinn is I feel like there's a continuation with we've seen the Joker and the Harley Quinn were once a thing. So I feel like there's a bit of a continuation after the Joker movies. Now we have the Harley Quinn. She's been introduced in her own way, and I feel like I'd give it a 7 because when you're introducing something,
it's a breakup-inspired story.
Well, I think I give it a 4, strong 4, because the storyline was not as strong as it would have, it would have been if they had probably put in, more effort, considering all the other movies they've done that she's been in. It was like a weak storyline. But well, let's wait and see what happens next.
Funny, no, she's pretty.
She is.
She's
cute. She is.
Also, on the best shot, there is Brighter Days by Sauti Sol. And they're working on their album. It's going to come out next month on 5th. I played it last week for you guys to get a taste, but seeing it's being featured here. Do you guys love Sauti Sol, first of all?
We do love Sauti Sol.
What's your favorite about
Africa
them?
Loves Sauti Sol. Who doesn't love Sauti Sol?
The world loves Sauti Sol.
Listen, Sauti Sol is that group that you have to love by default. Trust me. Yeah, I said it.
MJV.
I said it.
I'm just like
political today.
I'm just like, I know he's like a politician. I'm just like, wait, why? No, I think Sauti Sol have gone, above and beyond to prove themselves to be one of the best boy bands in Africa and dare I say the world. So of course I love them, and anything that comes out of them is just diamonds.
It's just amazing.
Yeah.
Let's move on and see what are some of the things, but go check out Brighter Days by Sauti Sol featuring Soweto Gospel. It's an amazing jam that you need to get to listen to. And of course, the video was done by Uncle Scrooge.
Your uncle or...
It's not my uncle.
You're not related, eh?
Yeah, we're not related. But then also on the pulse, you can look at page 4 and get to see ethic versus ethics. Okay. There's this new song that they did, and man, it's really sad. Inaitwa Soko. I don't know if you watched this song. It talks about pretty much molesting or kubaka mtu openly.
Ezekiel Mutua
definitely has something to say.
He always has something to say. And I don't know, I feel like it's going to be a long, let me call it a rivalry between the Gengeton, because it's the booming thing right now, and Ezekiel Mutua. So Ezekiel Mutua, if you're awake, good morning, and keep it up, okay?
You know, he's my uncle, he's watching.
Let me tell you, I still don't understand how, and forgive me for saying this, how Gengeton has survived this far, because from the first songs that came out from that industry, it was always about sex, drugs, nafanyana ni sijui nini. So from the word go, it was all about it. So that we're acting out, quote unquote, now and making a big deal out of it. I'm just like, boys, girls, we're too late for the party. So if Ezekiel is going to do something about it, let him do something. It's long overdue.
But it's a generational wave. Must we be worried about this? Because it's something that's being enjoyed by, give you an example. I grew up listening to people like Issa. Okay, Nonini came and he really, hey, Nonini. Nonini.
Do you know?
He's
but
now
you guys,
an ambassador for different things, which makes sense now. But don't you think it's just a wave? They are just trying.
It is a wave, actually.
Just trying to be young, and maybe it's gonna pass.
Living in their era, in their generation. And I like to support an argument I had. When you translate their songs into English, it's what is being sung out there, by the trap songs we like, So it's just that it sounds way worse in Swahili.
Because we understand it.
Because we understand it.
No.
It's like, let me give you an example. The bongo songs, the bongo songs, you don't even know the meaning, but they sound so good. So themselves, they know what they mean.
But at least one feature.
Let me tell you guys, I don't even understand what your argument is, guys.
So kuna sheng, huko kuna ile Swahili.
Mufti.
Ivy says there's no argument.
There's no
this.
argument because the thing is this. You've mentioned Akina Nonini and Akina Issa. Yes, they sang, some very, nasty songs in there. But the words they used were low-key like, like that these things are just being put out there. I'm just like,
there's a song.
Bro, at least choose your words. If you're going to do
that song.
And you can't compare Gengeton to
You know what
trap.
I'm going to say?
Trap is trash.
Just speak for yourself, Ivy. Let me tell you, when you're talking about music and general stuff, listen, when you're talking about general stuff, I believe you're not supposed to
I've said this before.
Out and say trap is trash.
No, this is according to me, and that's why I've said Gengeton as well. For me, is a no. So it's just my personal opinion.
That's yours,
Ladies and gentlemen, let there be peace, and there was peace, and that's how we peacefully move on to the next story. Keeping the beats on lockdown. That's one of the titles on page 5. You can actually look at that on how some of the artists are trying to cope with this crazy moments. Give you an example. Nyashinsky. Nyashinsky, for example, did something on Instagram, and of course we had our Global Citizen Initiative where we had different artists such as John Legend, Charlie Puth. You'd see Stevie Wonder just go online to do performances. What's your take on that? Do you think that's the new wave of how people should handle how they spread their music and their love in general?
Let me tell you, Aseli and Ivy, that is genius. Now, I'm pretty sure I speak for both of you. That is
no, you don't.
I do. Aseli, you and I.
Well,
anyway, I feel like this is actually thinking out of the box, because with some arts like music, content creation basically, the online platform, the online platform is a perfect place to continue to grow your brand, you know, and your content. So I don't think if there's a industry that hasn't been affected as much. Okay, it has been affected with the, you know, with the performances, live performances and the shows. But when you come to think about it, like with the content creation, there's much they've done. If you ask me.
Okay. I think it's a good initiative.
I think it's an amazing thing that, you know, artists are doing all across the world to put their content out on the digital platforms. We've always known that we are coming from the CDs and the flash discs, moving to the digital, so it's a good thing. However, the difference between us and, you know, the international artists is that they have all of these cash apps and PayPals and everything else. You can, you know, tip and, you know, send some money to their accounts if they do something that you enjoy and something that you like. The problem is that in Kenya, an artist will go live, use a lot of money to put up a production, you know, data is expensive, guys. It's actually really expensive.
But
and there's nothing that goes back to them.
Kenyan data is cheaper compared to South Africa and some Southern African nations.
Well, considering the times we're in, it's expensive. It's expensive.
It is expensive. Still in Kenya, it's too expensive.
So I wish that we'd get to a space in Kenya where we'd actually also put in some money to help out the artists, because it's a tough time. They're actually one of the most affected industries in Kenya. And I'm saying this because Penguin was saying otherwise. I'm just like, what?
Speaking actually of putting out some cash or supporting the artist. Juicy, Unye like release some money.
Hey, president.
I'm just like, who is he your brother?
I said, you guys chill.
Listen, I'm just like, you know, when these guys are my boys, you know. I just can't call them at
They won't get about the money.
The money, yeah. So the government released 100 million for artists. Now, Calligraph Papa Jones, the OG, I can declare 90M. Niyake clean. You're 10. Wagawane, the OG should be respected.
What?
And it was actually, see, ilikuwa juzi. Juzi tu ndo ime.
Yeah.
2
weeks back, actually.
Yeah. 2 weeks actually back. So I feel like, but
so the platforms are better because you can just pin your number pale, ama pin your PayPal details, and then you get your money. And I think that's why we are going to move on to the next story, which is very interesting. We did it last week, but then this is more like a follow-up story. Our uncle, the governor of Nairobi, Sonko,
big man, hey, the man will do anything.
Penguin, I'm trying to finish talking about this story.
Finish.
Story.
Take it away.
So he gave out bottles of Hennessy as part of the food pack that he was giving around for donations. And he's become famous apparently in the United States. And that's why he was featured on Trevor Noah's show. And I want you to check out a clip. And also featured on CNN. Take a look.
Okay.
Big man, that guy is doing a good job. Unfortunately, it's your own who don't support you, you know?
Okay, but 2 cents on that. Do you think it's something that would have made him famous?
You know, like, that situation actually shows that it's really your own who betray you, you know? Here in Kenya, he's not a hero out there.
Yeah.
The man is trending. People actually want him to be the mayor, the governor, the senator of
New York.
Of New York, man, the president. You can imagine as in Hanita. Oh, God. Anything.
I want to make sure that you get to see it for yourself. Take a look at this clip on The Daily Show.